What's up? So I want to shout out my boy Happy Z's over here for giving me this idea. I didn't even know that this was something that people were looking for, but it turns out it is. So I'm gonna go over 7 finance apps for the iPhone or iOS. I definitely saved one of the best apps for last, and I kind of go over and break down at the end, so definitely stay for that. If these are available on Android, I'm not too sure, but I'll probably research it and put them in the description if they are. First up, we have an app called Dave. So let's open up Dave. And I'm keeping in mind here that some people like to have savings accounts and they pay rent and stuff like that, where I'm 17, so if you're taking money advice from me, I don't know. But I do spend a little bit of money on these apps and I have used them for a little bit. So this first one, Dave, is actually really nice because you can get an advance on your paycheck if you'd really like to, or you can also set up a savings account and it'll automatically save money. Although you do need to be over 18 for this savings account. And if it's helpful to know, they do reimburse you up to $250,000, this savings account, if anything does happen. So we can look through and you can actually see your recent purchases and you can see the different stuff. And you can help out with side hustles and just different ways that you can help save some money if you really need to. Since I am only 17, I was only able to track my spending through this app and I wasn't able to do anything like setting up a savings account or anything like that. But one thing that I did really like was the automatic savings. So it'll actually show me and I can click on one of these and say that I want to save for this purchase every month. So I guess McDonald's, if you want to save every month the same day, this certain amount of money. So it's really nice and you could track all your spending and stuff like that. It is also free, I like to mention that, because some of these apps do charge you monthly, and one of them actually charged me monthly. I had no idea it was charging me monthly. And that app is Digit, but that one's not a part of this list because this is all free apps. But Digit, if you ever do try Digit, make sure that you know that they're gonna charge you $2 a month on your credit card. It doesn't disclose that very well. I had no idea. I had to look and see that they charged me $2 for using it for a month. So next up, we have Fortune City. Now this one's really nice if you're a kid and you make money, I guess. If you have a job and you don't really have a savings account or something like that, or if you're just hesitant to putting your card into any kind of app, this one's really nice. It's basically like a little video game and you can add different purchases, but you do have to add these manually. So you're gonna wanna remember to add these, or you can have your banking account app, which I'll go over next. And you can have that banking account app and just go through every night and add all your purchases. But you can see that when we add, let's say I add a $500 purchase, then I'll give you some diamonds and you can spend money on this little town. And you have a little city that you can build and develop for yourself if you want. Next up, one thing that I really like is I use Chase personally, and their app is pretty nice, not really for doing any kind of tracking of savings or spending accounts, but it is nice just for seeing how much you have left. And I found that some of the apps that we use today don't really tell you the available balance exactly on time. Sometimes there's like a 2-hour delay, but with Chase, it'll tell you exactly like when you needed to spend money. Whereas with other banks, I don't really know, like as to Wells Fargo and stuff like that, but I can only attest for Chase being really well, and I'm assuming it's the same with other banks. So you can see, I can go through and see all my recent purchases here. And it's pretty on time, and it sends me alerts whenever there's a charge to my card. So next up, we have my favorite, which is Mint. Mint is my favorite just because it actually has this little graph and it'll show you how much money you're spending and stuff like that, and where you lost money and where you gained money. So it's really nice. It'll show you what your net worth is, and you can scroll down and see how much cash you have, how much credit card debt you owe, and loans and investments. So it's really nice just to see everything that's going on here. And you can even have your alerts, and it gives you alerts on like overdraft protection and stuff. And it helps track your taxes, which is very nice. Not that I really have to use that anytime soon. You can also see that this month, what I've spent money on, like how much I've earned versus how much I spent. You can also have it auto pay your bills and things like that. Now it'll show me what I've spent my money on, food, drinks, and others. It has different categories so I can see like what I've spent exactly and how much I've taken out or put into the bank account. If you run a business, this is really nice because you can actually see like, oh, this is how much I'm making versus this is how much I'm spending, which is really nice to see like, oh, like I need to spend this much amount of money to save this much amount of money. It's a very nice like visual way of seeing it, and you can actually print out these transactions and use them for business purchases and business expenses. It's pretty nice for that. And they have things like home loans, personal loans. You can get a credit card right through the app. They have insurance and a savings account. So while I can't sign up for any of these personally because I'm 17, I have watched others review them and they really do like it, and I think this is definitely worth your time. Since it is free, it doesn't cost any money. They're not gonna charge you secretly like Digit did. Then it all works out really well, and you can have different goals that you wanna save money for and have it automatically save money for them. So next up, we have Webull. Now, if you're a fan of Graham Stephan, you do know that he recommends this app a ton. Webull will actually give you 2 free stocks. In no means am I giving advice here because I don't know. I'm not giving any advice here. But it is really nice. It's basically free money. I would definitely sign up. Now, this isn't for tracking money or anything, but this is just a way to make money on the side for free. And it's not gonna be a lot of money, maybe like $1 or $2 a month if you invest in something safe, or you can go a little risky and see if you can make some more money like Bitcoin. Elon Musk really likes that Bitcoin. So we have stuff like that. And it is a pretty nice app. Even if you don't use it, it's nice for tracking the stock. So you can go here and see the Dow Jones, and you can see overall how different companies are doing, and we can see how stable the companies are, although stability might not be the best thing this year. But you can see that it's pretty nice overall. You can see how it's going, and if you're a day trader, it also show you like 1 day or 5 years. So it has a whole range, although this does look a lot like the Apple Stocks app. Next up, we have Good Budget. Now, Good Budget is really nice for budgeting. It's not really good for tracking how much money is in your account and what you're spending it on. It's more for, hey, I wanna have like this amount of money in this time, and it'll help tell you when to save your money, and it'll help save your money. As far as some of that stuff, it does have that too. Over here in the Recents tab, you can see it does do an income versus spending and a spending by envelope. Although I can't attest to how well those work, and I do like the other apps ones a little bit better than this one. And you can see all your recent transactions, and you can see how much you spent on groceries, gas, and savings. So it's really nice just to see how much you're spending, but it isn't great for any of the other stuff, maybe just for budgeting. Next up, we have EveryDollar here. EveryDollar is made by Dave Ramsey. If you're in the finance game, you definitely know who Dave Ramsey is. He runs a program called Baby Steps, and this app kinda is a companion app to that. It'll help get you off the debt, and there's a whole thing called the debt snowball that'll help you get rid of all that debt that you have. It's really nice for stuff like that, and it's also nice for tracking your spending and stuff like that. So it seems that I got signed out of the app here, but I can show you some screenshots because I have used it in the past. It'll help you just kind of see. It's a lot like Mint, and it is also free, so that's very nice about it. And they won't charge you secretly. One thing I really do like about this app is you don't have to spend the money on, like, you don't have to put in a card if you don't want to. You can add the purchases yourself, which is nice. And one thing that I think a lot of the other apps are missing, because obviously we pay for stuff with cash, and so the cash transactions aren't gonna show up here, which is pretty bad, but you can add it on this specific app. You can say, hey, I spent $10 on groceries, and it'll say, okay, like it'll just add it in. So that's really nice with the EveryDollar app. Lastly, we have NerdWallet, and I know this one is used by a lot of people and recommended quite a lot. Now this app's kind of nice because it'll actually tell you this is how well you're doing, and it'll give you like a score, and it'll tell you like you're $7 up from last month or whatever, and it'll tell you how much you're making, how much you're spending, and it'll really help you with the savings account. It's a lot like the Mint app, and it'll show you maybe what's best for you and what's kind of bad that you're spending money on. And I think it is really helpful when you're trying to save money to see these like things visually. It has definitely helped me where I've gone into this app and said, hey, I'm spending a lot of money on this, and I don't want to spend as much money on this, so I can see over the month how I'm doing. And that's one thing that I do think that the Good Budget app is missing, because it's not really gonna show you, oh, like this is how you did last month, this is how you're doing this month. And it also only, I think, shows you, like it only updates every week or so. So it's not gonna update every single day, like Mint will. But I think Mint is definitely the way to go. If you want to take one app out of this whole thing, Mint is definitely the one that you're going to want to go with. Mint or Dave or EveryDollar are the three that are really nice. I can go over Digit too. Just keep in mind that Digit does end up costing $2 a month, and they're not going to tell you that, which I think is kind of sketchy, but that's okay. The one thing I do really like about Digit is you can open up a savings account, and you don't have to be 18 for that, and it could take back that money anytime you want, and it's only a day delay, and it doesn't take any money out of the purchase that you spent. Oh, well, I closed my account. But if I didn't close my account, I'll show you some screenshots over here. So you can actually just set up like I want to save for this at this amount of time, it'll automatically start saving the money inside of an account, but you don't need to create a separate bank account for that. It'll do it itself. So in many ways, it is actually better than opening up a savings account that costs money. Like some savings account costs like $5 a month, where this one's only $2, which is really nice, although you do not get a card, which could be a plus side if you want to try not spending the money on hand all the time. Then this is definitely not the app to go for. But if you're like me, you're 17, you want to open up a savings account, this app is perfect for that. Just do keep in mind it's going to take $2 a month from that. That's pretty much it for me. If you liked it, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. And I know you really, I don't know, this is a very research topic. If you're new here, definitely be sure to subscribe. Yeah, and this is mainly a tech channel, so you're gonna wanna watch this one or this one because these are both pretty good tech videos. But if you wanna see more of this finance stuff, definitely drop a like, and yeah, I'm glad you stayed till the end.